Bobby, your first chef's kiss was spoiled by, I believe, JT earlier being
JT,
very
buddy.
unfair. What's the matter with you, JT? But Bob, you do have a different one that you've still been talking up to me for a while. So, Bob, what
Right.
is your actual chef's kiss now?
So I actually, my original, like you said, JT, man, I like the same little his little dance and Jay Usu cracking in the background. I loved it. But since you gave it away, I do have another one. And guys, I mentioned it earlier, man. I'm hyped for Gunther and Sheamus, and I thought their segment on SmackDown was great. They just stared down. They're just looking into each other's soul while their lackeys are going at it. Pete Dunne and what's the other guy's name?
Well, it's still Butch technically, but
No, it's Butch, but
Ridge Holland, the big guy.
Ridge and the other guy, Gunther's guy,
Oh, Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig. Thank you. Yeah, man. So they're just staring down while these guys are going. I had it in the background, and I'm ready for this match, honestly. And it's great that they're building back up the Intercontinental title and making it feel important again, once again in the company. And I love it. I'm all for it. I'm ready for this Saturday match between the two. And honestly, I kind of want to see Sheamus win, man. Sheamus, that's the one belt that he hasn't held besides the Universal title. But that's the one belt he really wants to, hold on to. And I feel like this may be the moment. I feel like he's done well. He's been a great asset to the company, and I feel like this should be Sheamus' moment. But Gunther's on a roll. He's undefeated, so I can see it going either way. But I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna pick Sheamus. Joey, what was your chef kiss for this week?
Well, I definitely like that the past few weeks in conversations, let alone the Chef's Kiss segment, that we've really been talking about their treatment of non-world titles as getting better in WWE/NXT. But of course, I'm going over to my NXT land, my baby, my precious. And for the first time, I think, at least in 2.0, a character has been given their own talk show segment actually in the ring. And the Grayson Waller Effect was the name of that show, done by one of the best heels going in the business today in Grayson Waller, the Aussie himself. Now, yes, the show is called the Grayson Waller Effect, but the reason why I'm picking this as my chef's kiss for this week is not because of the host, but because of Apollo Crews. And he's been known as being too smiley, too generic, not very emotional, the what the heck Nigerian accent. But this mic work by him in this segment was, in my opinion, his best work I've ever seen from him in terms of on the mic. They called out the Nigerian accent, and he even brought it back and said, yeah, I did it because I'm proud of my heritage and I wanted it to come out in my work more. Big deal. Okay, yeah, I have visions and I want to accomplish big things in NXT and in wrestling. I was a champ on Monday nights. I was a champ on Friday nights. So maybe I want to tell my kids I'll be a champ on Tuesday nights too, since Waller, of course, was calling him out about returning, air quotes, to NXT or being demoted. And just every single comeback that Crews had for Waller, who is really good on the mic, I was just like, wow, where the heck has this Crews been for the last 6-7 years he's been in the company? So something clicked for him since returning to NXT. And I'm just happy for him that on the mic he's improved, which is the goal of NXT, is to make someone superstar ready. Bob, you got anything to say about that before we get to our main chef's kiss, which also involves NXT?
Yeah, I do, Joey. Actually, I did enjoy the segment a lot. Like you mentioned, the Apollo and his quick comebacks to Grayson Waller was great. And this is probably his best work on the mic. And he's been in the company for like 6-7 years now. And it's like, But hey, man, he really stole the show with this segment. Not only that, I also see a lot of high hopes for Grayson Waller, man. I really like his look. And the guy does present himself as a star. So I'm excited to see where his future leads in NXT, or if ever gets called up to the main roster. But the segment overall, it does deserve a chef kiss. And Joey, you're right. But to continue with NXT, for the ones who watched, we had a debut on NXT, and it was the son of William Regal, Charlie Dempsey. He had a backstage segment with Chase U University. And Joey, if you want to break it down for us, how'd it go?
Yeah, so Chase U, I gave some love to last week. One of the segments that they've done before is having a sort of a guest lecturer, a guest instructor to keep with that school routine. And Charlie Dempsey comes in. There's a slight resemblance to Regal. In my opinion, he looks more like a British version of one of the Von Erichs, in all honesty.
I hate to. It kind of looks like what's that guy, Flash Morgan?
Flash Morgan Webster in the face.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, but like he has Regal. Like he's a big boy. He's Regal's at least height and is in better shape than his papa. But he looks more like a British Von Erich, in my opinion, with his hair. But this guy came in and he was doing a catch can style with submissions. And Andre Chase had to keep stopping him because he was being too physical and hurting his mentees, so to speak. And he basically said, your people are too soft. Look up Billy Robinson if you want to learn more things about hold. And just the persona that he came in with, I don't know, because I literally tried to find his age earlier, how old this kid is. But if he's only in his like early 20s, he did a great job in my opinion. And this kind of BA style performer from the Brits, I think is really what's missing in NXT UK and now NXT USA. Some guys try. Gallus, that's stable. They try to be cool and tough. But I think with Dempsey, he actually exudes that more positively, in my opinion. And so to have a comedy segment like Chase U, have this serious character introduction, it really made it stick out more to me, that contrast. Bob, why did it stick out to you?
The wrestling moves that he was applying, it brings back to that British style wrestling, just manipulating the fingers, the nose, just I love that kind of style of wrestling. It seems very rugged, very just old school. And so when I saw him applying moves to the Chase U jabronis, I'm like, man, this guy, not only that, his facial expressions on applying on the moves, and just this guy came off so well in this one segment. It's a minute and a half, and I'm like, man, he didn't actually have a match. And this segment alone made me believe this dude is a vicious son of a bitch out there. And y'all should be scared of him in the ring because he's going to break off a finger. He's going to rip off your nose, rip off your ear, poke your eyeballs. He's going to manipulate something in that ring. And so that would really intrigue me with Charlie Dempsey here. So I am all in for Charlie Dempsey. I'm ready to see more of him. And hey, he's William Regal's son, right? Cherry on top.
He's got a little villain in him, definitely, right away.
He does. And honestly, you know what, Joey? Since he kind of looks like somebody with those sideburns. If you guys look up a 2003, 2004 Chris Sabin, kind of looks like him, 2003, 2004 Chris Sabin.
Much bigger and more jacked.
Oh, yeah, of course.
What we're talking about here.
Of course, yeah. But the sideburns and the curly hair, look it up. It's on Google. Google it, fellas. But overall, that's our chef kiss. Mwah. Big fellas, if you guys have anything to throw in, go ahead.
Yeah,
Chad,
I had two. One of mine was for the group in general for encouraging me to buy a meet and greet for Hangman this weekend. So get to fucking meet my guy on Saturday. I'm super pumped about that. $100 later, $170 later, whatever it was, gonna be worth it. My chef's kiss, and I feel like I had one more. I messaged the group earlier this week and I couldn't find what it was. Daniel Garcia in the Jericho Danielson segment. Now, I know, kind of cheesy, custody battle type of thing, but Daniel Garcia did a hell of a job selling, like, his whole emotion through that whole process with Jericho and Danielson, I thought. Garcia, in general, I feel like has not been the most emotional guy or, regarding his voice work and stuff like that. Like, he's been very monotone, just, like, straight to the point type of style when it comes to that. But you could see he was like really struggling back and forth between do I tell Jericho to fuck off? Do I go with Danielson? I really enjoyed it, and it was the first thing on Dynamite. So I give him props because he's a younger guy. Definitely getting a pretty well-deserved push, I think. They're working on him, and I think it seems to be paying off. So, John?
Yeah, so my chef's kiss is Roman Reigns. And I mean, what they're doing with him right now, I'm so invested, and I truly believe what I say is no one can stop him. That's my chef's kiss. Maybe Cody or The Rock, but as of right now, no one can stop him. But Brian?
So my chef's kiss comes directly from Monday Night Raw as of late. I'll point it out from 2 weeks ago because I'm not quite caught up on this week's, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys notice in the background of these smaller segments and everything like that, when they're showing somebody walking to the ring or warming up before a match, they're planting little smaller details in there. They're planting smaller details, like when somebody was getting ready for a match. I want to say it was either AJ or Lashley. You could see in the background, Adam Pearce was directing security to keep Dexter Lumis out. He was giving him a pep talk as for that, and I really like appreciating those smaller details. I mean, we talked about it, or you guys talked about it last week, how, there was a car crash, car was being towed, security was running through segments or people in the segments. So I really hope we continue to see details like that, because that type of storytelling, the smaller details of everything, those always do matter as well too. George?
All right. My chef's kiss this week goes to the return of Kip Sabian. We didn't mention this earlier. I was originally going to throw it as a bone to pick, but you know what? I'm going to make it a chef's kiss here, because the way that they pulled it off was absolutely beautiful. Because Kip had just some random guy planted in the crowd with the box on his head, kind of had his mouth taped shut so he couldn't talk, and all of a sudden Kip attacks Pac from behind. That was beautiful. That was a great setup, and Bobby, I love the thing. But yeah, that was just a great way to do it, and I'm glad they did it that way. So yeah, I'm very happy about that.